Hey.
Okay, so this is how we're starting.
I think we're going. Bro.
I hit record.
Oh,
All right.
no.
Bloopers. Are we
You
good?
still got to do the clap and the countdown.
What?
You still got to do the clap and the countdown.
Oh, I know.
It's tradition.
Oh
You got to do it.
Oh, God. Okay. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Dropout Sports Podcast. What episode, guys? I'm stuck.
Episode 6, right? 6?
6 or 7.
6 or
Wait,
7?
no. I thought it was 5.
No, 5 was the one that didn't get uploaded. So
Yeah, so
this one is 5.
Sorry about last week, y'all. But
Yeah.
This is episode 5. This isn't connected to anything, and welcome to the show.
Way to call yourself out like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I just look at this thing. I don't know. Anyways, welcome to this week's episode. Got an all NFL lineup for you guys, and we hope you enjoy it. So, Scott, what's first on deck?
All right. So yesterday was Thanksgiving. So of course there's Thanksgiving football.
Yeah.
So we got to recap those games. So let's talk about the Lions game first.
Yeah.
What a terrible game.
Lions doing what they do best on Thanksgiving, losing.
Yeah.
That's all they do on Thanksgiving.
But I will say that Matthew Stafford is a touchdown away, a passing touchdown away from having the most touchdowns on Thanksgiving by a quarterback.
Well, because he's played every Thanksgiving of his career.
I know.
Of course. Let me guess. Who holds the record? Troy Aikman?
I don't know, but Matthew Stafford is underrated. On a different note, Matthew Stafford is underrated on a different note. But
he is very underrated, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, the Lions are not. They're just trash.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah, it was a terrible. It had like 6 turnovers or something like that. It went like 3 possessions in a row where the Lions fumbled. Their backup running back got a carry. He fumbled, and then the Texans fumbled, and then Matthew Stafford threw an interception to J.J. Watt, and he ran it in for a touchdown. And then the Texans fumbled, and then it was going back and forth, and it was just so ugly.
Yeah. Also, in both Thanksgiving games, there was a pick 6 by a defensive end.
A defensive lineman, yeah.
It was J.J. Watt in the first one, and then Montez Sweat in the second one.
Good pick.
Both of them were pretty, for a D lineman, pretty athletic.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But no, the first game was pretty good, except for all the turnovers. It came down. What were you saying, Kev?
Deshaun Watson.
Yes, elite.
Elite. Like I'm questioning whether he should get like an MVP vote or not.
No.
Maybe not this year because they started out a little slow.
No, but like
he's figured out what his role is now in this new system that they're running with their interim head coach for the rest of the season, and without Hopkins there, he's figuring out how to be able to spread the ball and not have just one guy that he can throw to all the time. He's getting back to what he looked more like at Clemson, because I feel like he relied on D-Hop so much that now he's back to where it's not just one guy and he's spreading the ball out and getting like 5-6 different receivers involved in the game.
Yeah, there's so many people I think could get an MVP vote over him.
What's that though? Like, he's probably got like one of the best stat lines in the NFL with shit all around him.
Kyler, Patrick Mahomes.
Kyler get MVP votes.
I think Derek Carr is playing better than him.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Carr's playing better than –
because he's got Joshua Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs,
Waller.
Yeah, I'm just saying Deshaun Watson's got Fuller and who else?
Yeah, but I think that Derek Carr's been bad in the past. Like, he's been really bad, but he's performing at a high level this year, even with kind of the same team.
Yeah.
So we're basing this on how much better he's gotten.
Hopkins has kind of fallen off from last year, but I don't think that's his fault. I think that's Bill O'Brien's fault, because in a short offseason where they weren't able to like figure out who they were without Hopkins,
mm-hmm.
he didn't get the chance to figure out who his favorite target was going to be. So that's why in the first 4 or 5 games, the Texans weren't producing as much because he was still trying to figure out who the guy was going to be.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah, I was about to say I disagree thinking that the Texans don't really have weapons. David Johnson's out, but they as a receiving core, they're pretty set honestly with Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks. Like Brandon Cooks is old, but he's still a very reliable receiver and is actually having a quietly good year. Will Fuller's just electric.
Because Deshaun Watson's found he's like Scott said, he's found the ability to spread it out more, showing that he's more valuable to that team than I think any other quarterback.
Oh, I'm taking as a quarterback in whole, I'm taking Watson over Derek Carr, yes. But this year, I don't think he deserves MVP votes. If I'm going to be honest, on a real note, I just don't. Mm-hmm. I just don't see him pulling that through with the way that as a team they performed at the beginning of the year. He was just getting used to things, but sadly, it's going to be held against him.
Man, I think he
also deserves... Josh Allen.
Oh yeah. He had 2 down games, and now he's back to what he was doing at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I think Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett deserve MVP votes over Deshaun Watson.
Maybe Donald. I'm a big Deshaun guy, so I'll just keep it at that.
No, I like Deshaun, and there's a big debate about Deshaun and Dak, and I take Deshaun every time.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm taking Deshaun just for the fact that Dak is the better passer, but I want someone that not only can pass but can use his legs to avoid a sack.
Mm-hmm. He's very good in the pocket, Deshaun. Mm-hmm. On to the second game.
Yeah. The surprising blowout. I was not expecting it to be a blowout. I thought it was either going to be close or it was going to be a Cowboys blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But the score of 41-16, Washington, that surprised me a lot.
Yeah, I think Washington really set a tone here, kind of saying this isn't the Cowboys division anymore. This isn't Cowboys Eagles. We're relevant. Our quarterback is Alex Smith.
We're here too. Hello.
Yeah. Now, may I remind you that they have 3 or 4 wins now? Washington 3 wins.
4. They're 4.
4.
They have 4 wins. 4-7 and leading the division.
Leading the freaking division. They're going to make the playoffs. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's just ridiculous.
Washington has I think they found themselves at the beginning because of all the quarterback turnovers.
They're this close.
Alex Smith coming back helped them tremendously.
You know who I want in Washington? I want that BYU quarterback.
You want Zach Wilson?
I want Zach Wilson.
Out.
I want Zach Wilson in Washington.
I'm
telling you, he slept on.
It has at least 1 more year.
Okay.
No, but okay. I think now that you have a steady quarterback and you know that Antonio Gibson is lights out running the ball, and you've got McLaurin and got Pitts, you have established guys now. I know it's only this year, but they're established for this year.
They need one more receiver.
Yeah, they do need one receiver.
But also the fact that McLaurin has become the guy to go to for receiving, that brings double coverages and packages towards him to stop him, which gives the secondary receivers.
You know what I'd like to see out of that? You know how you're talking about that? You know how I'd like to see? We just talked about him from the last Thanksgiving game. Will Fuller is going to be a free agent this offseason.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that would be a great pair of Will Fuller and Terry, 2 young, fast, talented receivers.
Yeah, but on the Texans' standpoint, and now that Bill O'Brien is not calling the shots, they will get smart.
I bet Will Fuller leaves, man. I don't know.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. And if being the Texans, right now he is their number 1 guy. So I don't think the Texans would get rid of their number 1 guy 2 years in a row.
He's gonna have to get paid. He's had a good year, really good year. So they're gonna pay. They're gonna have a lot of competition. Is basically what I'm saying. So I just don't see them building up or changing their program that fast. Just like how people feel about smaller marketing teams. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll say this about the Washington Redskins.
Football team.
Washington football team.
Football team. Gosh darn it. I am so sorry.
It's okay. We always forget. Go for it.
All right. So with all of these rookie contracts that are becoming star players, I think this offseason is make or break because I think you can put Dwayne Haskins in the starting lineup next year. McLaurin's obviously on a rookie contract. Gibson's on a rookie contract.
Over Smith?
One of the guys. They have like little contracts at the big positions.
But I agree with Kody on the fact that they should get a quarterback in this next draft. They get a quarterback.
And, there's a good quarterback. Well, this is a good quarterback class. Like
they get a quarterback, groom him behind Alex Smith for a season, and you remember what happened the last time a quarterback groomed behind Alex Smith for a season? He ended up becoming the highest paid player in NFL history, in Patrick Mahomes.
I'm just saying, you gave Dwayne half a season and a shit offensive line.
I would like to see Haskins get traded to a team that he can sit under a really good quarterback. And you know who I've been feeling around, and I think he'd be a good spot for him?
Alex Smith. What the fuck? Go ahead.
No. Ben Roethlisberger. I think Ben has got 2 or 3 more years left in him in the Steelers. I think Dwayne, who's built like Ben, can kind of plays like him and is a pocket passer, doesn't move around a lot. I think Ben would be the perfect quarterback for him to sit under.
And also, we know what Haskins can do as with a good offensive line, because at Ohio State, he hit records for passing touchdowns and passing yards and stuff because they had a solid line. In Washington, he doesn't have a good line, and he doesn't have time to let the receivers progress and make moves and get open. But the Steelers,
he's only banking on one receiver there. He's only banking on one guy there. So at Ohio State, he had all these weapons and the offensive line, like you were talking about. Yep. So at Pittsburgh, he'd have an offensive line and he had a variety of weapons.
And he'd have the weapons as well, yes.
So I think Pittsburgh would be the best.
But on that point, I'm saying this offseason is make or break because they're going to have the money. They can get offensive linemen. They can get a second receiver. They can get secondary guys.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So if he has an offensive line next year, they can put Haskins in safely and also have more weapons around him. And they can run the East.
Yeah, I agree. Should we just go into the NFC East breakdown now?
Breakdown right now?
We kind of just broke, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Are we done? Are we done with the football team? Because, I mean, they have Chase Young. Their defense looks good, guys. Their front four.
Yes, their past 2 drafts with taking Sweat in the first round and taking Young this time. Is that a landline?
Yeah. Sorry.
Whoa. What is
Sorry.
What? Who has a landline anymore?
My mom.
We're leaving.
We're at home, okay?
It is the at-home edition.
Yeah. So yeah, the front. Who was talking? Who was going?
Scott was. So go ahead.
Yeah, like we talked about Washington there. So who do you want? We just go to the same team, same game. Go with the Cowboys now.
Makes sense.
Yeah, let's break down the Cowboys.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I think going forward at the top leaders of the division switching back and forth each year, I do think it'll be Washington and Cowboys. Honestly,
Cowboys, yeah.
They've got weapons galore.
Once Dak comes back, we'll be able to see who they actually are. Because this year, Kody, I know you love Andy Dalton, but they don't have an established winning quarterback.
No, they don't.
To do stuff. It's because Dak was on pace to probably be the MVP of the season.
Yeah.
But he's with him being injured and them going back and forth from Dalton and the other guy, DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci.
They don't have a clear path of the rest of this season, which is why I think games like this, the 41-16 loss to Washington, are happening for them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think their strongest suit on their team is their receiving core with young CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper kind of in his prime era. He's not playing the best, but I think that has a lot to do with not having Dak. And really though, play calling, like they're kind of off right now when it comes to establishing the run game. Zeke hasn't been the same, and their offensive line has been injured, so it's kind of a mess this year. You can't really see who the true Cowboys are going to be in the future, but I'm a firm believer in once Dak's back, they're going to have a scary duo of Amari and CD, and then mixing in Michael Gallup, depending on if he's there still or not. But I'm a believer in the Cowboys, but I'm just kind of a fan of the Washington team ahead of them going forward.
I mean, yes, and also with that, you obviously have Ezekiel Elliott maybe for the upcoming seasons, and which he has kind of proved himself, but I think running backs are very replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the defense, they didn't show it this game, but they have been improving because they got rid of Dontari Poe, which I think that was a really good idea. Get some young guys into that front four.
Yeah.
And you've got Randy Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence. Those are two ends that can do so much.
I love Clayton Vander Esch.
And Vander Esch is established.
Yes, but Vander Esch has been injured this season again with another neck injury.
He played last game.
Yeah, they just got him back.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and Jalen Smith?
Yeah, Jalen Smith and Alden Smith, getting those two. And then
they have good pieces on defense.
They've got pieces on defense. They've just got to figure out how to mesh together.
Yeah,
and I think next year they'll run it up.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine next year. I think Cowboys win the division next year, but Washington gives them a run.
If anything needs a change in that Cowboys organization, it is. I know they just hired Mike McCarthy, but it's either he goes or Jerry Jones goes, and Jerry Jones is not going to leave that team until he dies.
Yeah.
So I think Jerry Jones is going to fire Mike McCarthy and blame McCarthy for everything, even though it's Jones's fault.
I would do that too if I were the Cowboys. McCarthy's been toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big opening for coaches this year. I mean, there's a lot of teams that need to fire their coach.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of teams. But going anything else on Cowboys, guys?
I'm good with them.
I'm good with
All
Cowboys.
right, on to the second most disgusting, the New York Giants. Daniel Jones, baby.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones has looked good the past couple games, but it's the same thing that needs to happen in Washington is he needs to get receivers. He weapons to throw to. And also Saquon being out
doesn't help.
No, because then you know that they have more of a balanced offense now instead of being a run heavy and being able to set up like a play action pass.
I think Daniel Jones is better than what he's showing right now and what he has shown. But I think Daniel Jones is also not going to be like, even having Saquon, I think he's going to be that type of quarterback that's always there. And like, he has like a good season that saves his job. Like, he's not traded. He's staying on the team. They believe he's going to be better. He's
like what happened with Trubisky last season.
Yeah. And how Dalton, I think he's going to kind of be on a Dalton career.
Okay.
That makes sense. So like, he has a good
keep him on the team, but not
for like 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
But the Giants never get anywhere. I could see that.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I see it. And then they're going to waste Saquon's career.
So I think after his contract is up, I think Saquon will leave.
I don't know, man.
I feel like he knows that he would benefit in other places, but he just doesn't talk about it because then that would create a bunch of toxic stuff, and then he might get traded to a team he wouldn't want to go to.
Send that man to Atlanta already.
Ooh,
jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
let him play there with some Calvin Ridley. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Matt Ryan, but we'll talk about that a different day. But Yeah, I mean, I think as far as the Giants come, I really don't know much about their defense. I know it's not the best, but
no, their point differential is atrocious.
Yeah, they're kind of a mess, but I think they're less of a mess than the other team we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah. On that note,
the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've fallen off their high of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that 1 year. It's
would you here's a question for you though. If you were a team like the Eagles fans, if you were a fan of the Eagles and you could say you're going to win this Super Bowl, but the next 5 to 7 years are going to be awful, would you do it?
Yeah, I'm in that right now being a Broncos fan.
Yeah, you are.
You got Peyton and then
we got the Super Bowl and then everything's just been downhill from there.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Philadelphia is in a terrible spot. I truly think Carson Wentz is done. Like, I don't believe in him whatsoever.
Yes, he has to be. They drafted Hurts for a reason. You bench Wentz the rest of the season and let Hurts play.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know their season is gone.
Yeah,
I agree.
They have no chance. Well, Washington figuring out who they are and being able to beat the Cowboys handily. It's Washington's division for the rest of the year. So you let Hurts play and maybe that'll mix some things up.
Yeah, I agree.
If he does well, I mean, better on them.
But it won't matter if he does well because there's still a chance for them to win the division because Washington's only 4-7.
Yeah.
But it's
still a chance, but I like watching Carson Wentz against Cleveland. Like, yes, Cleveland has a good defense. They really do. They cause pressure. It wasn't the best weather day, but the guy, it's not even like and that was
without Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
if Myles Garrett is playing in that game, he possibly gets the Browns' single game sack record.
Did you see who was the guy? He had three he won AFC Player of the Week.
AFC Defensive Player.
Singleton? Was it like Alex Singleton, something like that?
No.
I don't remember his name. He was a linebacker.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Maybe? I don't know.
Huh?
Was he a linebacker?
No, he's on the other side of the line, other than Myles Garrett. Olivia Vernon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, shout out to that old dude.
Yeah, honestly, no, they just handled Carson Wentz. And like I was trying to say, his interceptions, like, they aren't like he's trying to throw it and they're making plays. No. He's being dumb. Like, he's just chucking it up there.
He's got nothing there. He's got nothing there, and he's trying to create something out of nothing, and it's not working.
No, and I have friends that are Eagles fans, and they at the beginning of the year they were just saying it's injuries. Like, he doesn't have Deshaun Jackson. Rager's been out. Like, he doesn't have any of his weapons. Like, Miles Sanders got injured. I'm like, and they're all back now.
Yeah, but what does that matter at this point?
Yeah, no, I think it's time to move on from Wentz. I think you give Hurts a chance to see what he can do with the team this year. But then after that,
get rid of Wentz. Yeah, you just have him sit back.
No, yeah, I agree. Because I don't know, it's so annoying. They're in a rough position. Like, the Eagles are in a very rough position. Mm-hmm. Their best player is Miles Sanders, though. I love Miles Sanders. He's good.
Miles Sanders is I think
he's talented. He's athletic.
But it's like, yeah, he's great in the Eagles, but he's the best player on a bad team.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a top 15 running back in the league.
Okay.
I mean, maybe with what he did in the beginning of the season, maybe. Yeah. I don't think after an injury he's going to be the same.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not.
Also, Scott showed some talent, and they might.
Yes.
Boston Scott.
I love Boston Scott. I think he's great. He's got the fire in him. Just because he's small, he still wants to prove to people that just because he's small doesn't mean he shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the Eagles need to do is just complete turnover.
Yeah. Complete rebuild.
They're holding on to these players that were there on their Super Bowl.
You're still holding on.
Yeah. Let go.
We're in the glory days, guys. Trust me.
Oh, man, that's funny. What do we got now? We got, I think that's it for the NFC East.
Yeah, I think we're just straight on to NFL up next.
Yep.
I got my game.
You have your game. What's your game?
The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I was eyeing
That's
that.
That's going to be a good game. That is a good game. And the reason I think it is because I think this is the official passing of the torch. Tom Brady to Patrick Mahomes.
Really?
This is the official of the torch.
With Mahomes winning the Super Bowl?
As in, Mahomes is probably going to go back-to-back.
Like, he's going to be, like, the best now.
It's like, okay, you know, you can have a good first couple seasons like Mahomes is, and you can win a Super Bowl, and you can make a thing, and then you can go on your career and just kind of do your own thing.
Fall off a bit, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of drop down. I don't think Mahomes is going to do that. I think just like Tom Brady, he's just going to run the league every single year, and maybe sometimes lose in the AFC Championship and all that. But I think
for the next 15 years, the AFC, it's now going to be it's going to be the Chiefs and who else?
Yeah, Chiefs versus this team who got lucky enough to be here, but now they're praying to somehow beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it.
Because like last year, there was kind of that debate, like Lamar Jackson was going off, and the Ravens were like potentially getting into that. But now, Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, all the weapons they have, it's looking better.
I totally agree with that, Kev. It's just like people every year will be like, oh, I don't know, I think it's the Ravens' time to take over.
No,
here come the Titans.
That one year got to the NFC Championship.
Yeah,
and now it's them.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'm looking forward to this game just to kind of see. One, it's just kind of a big game. It's like the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. And,
yeah. It's the generation of sports fans before us, GOAT, and then our GOAT.
And it's two talented teams. Hello? I was getting a call.
What's up, man?
Yeah, you're good. Okay.
No, yeah, I'm good.
I have my game.
All right.
I'm excited to see the Chargers Bills game.
Okay. Rightfully so.
The Bills are the Bills. They're 7-3. They're definitely a top 4 team in the AFC.
Yes. Okay.
But the Chargers are a team. They're that team that you don't know what you're going to get every week. Like they could come in and be that Chargers team that put up good numbers against the Chiefs and almost beat the Chiefs. Or you get the Chargers team from last week or the week before where they play good and then in the second half they kind of just fall off.
Yeah, sure. Which I mean, the Bills have been prone to like letting people come in through the end of the game.
Yes, especially last year against the Texans in the playoffs is a great example of that. They were up 21-7 or something like that, and they let Houston come back in the second half to win the game.
Mahomes
Watson, yeah. But I think that'll be a good game. Josh Allen is still trying to fight and show people like, hey, I'm good. I'm still here. And then Herbert is still trying to figure out like what he wants to do.
He's going to have the best rookie season of all time, probably.
Yeah.
He's on track to, at least.
Yeah.
Not exactly saying too much though, just because of the record that they're going to have.
But
True, but it was the same thing going on with Burrow before he got injured. He was putting up great numbers, but because of the team he had, they just weren't able to execute plays on offense as much, or the defense wasn't able to stop the other.
Both coaches need fired. Anthony Lynn and Zach Taylor both need fired.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, big ups to Lynn, but like, it's his time.
It's time for both of them to go, and I think just having Anthony Lynn, he leaves. I think Herbert and this new coach. I think Herbert should be on the decision of who the new coach would be for the Chargers.
Would they go after someone who was on the Oregon coaching staff last season? Maybe the offensive coordinator, the head coach there.
I think who fits the Chargers would be Eric, the offensive coordinator from the Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
Eric Henry. I think he'd be a great decision for the Chargers, honestly. And the reason I think that is because he has an arm just like Mahomes, and he can work with around that. So I think the offense would be thriving with him.
And having Keenan Allen there, already having a set number one guy.
Exactly.
And then Herbert showing what he can do with just one guy gives other wide receivers like, hey, I might want to go there.
Exactly right. And he would know how to work with Austin Eckler already. So it would be perfect. And for the Bengals wise, I just want Joe Brady. I want he was the LSU offense coordinator last year. He's the offense coordinator for the Panthers this year. And the Panthers with Teddy Bridgewater has an underrated offense. So I would love to see that, honestly. But go on with your game. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm done talking.
All right.
About it.
Kev, it's your turn.
Kev, your game.
Right. I think I did this the last time they faced off, but my game of the week is going to be Titans-Colts.
Yep. I looked at it and we're like, that's the game he's going to choose, isn't it?
That's a good game, though.
It is.
Yeah. Because, I mean, both teams are tied for first, but both teams are kind of – they've gotten some not-so-flashy wins. And that kind of speaks towards what they might do or what they might not do in the playoffs. I think both teams are showing right now that they're not going to get far.
Yeah, so with the Titans coming out and letting the Bengals do what they did in such a broken program, I just like that like literally triggered it for me to know the Titans won't win a big game in the playoffs. Yeah,
and so I think one of these teams has to win, but they have to win soundly by a lot.
And I truly think, and I'm sorry, Kev, I think it's the Colts. Because you separate the Colts with their defense. The Colts defense is just tremendous, like so young, so fast.
They'll be able to stop Henry on critical third and 5s, 3rd and 4s there, and
contain Tampa.
Early in the drive, which will give veteran Phillip Rivers a short field.
Now Phillip Rivers, he wins, but he wins ugly every single time. I just can't stand watching Phillip Rivers throw a football.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to watch.
With the Colts offense, you kind of don't have that like stability that the Titans sort of have with Henry there and Tannehill knowing who he can throw to, because you have Mack, you have Hines, you have a ton of options, but you don't have that one go-to guy. I think T.Y. Hilton, I think, has dropped off a little bit.
Michael Pittman's their best receiver.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I think
rookie receiver.
Yeah. So I think if the Colts win this, they win this on the back of either Nyheim Hines has a huge game or Phillip Rivers goes off for 400 plus. With that being said, with my bias in mind, I think the Titans will win. I know. I think Henry's going to have another 100-yard game, but I think Tannehill.
If Tannehill in Tennessee, I would agree with you. But since it's in Indianapolis, I think the Colts will win.
I'm not too big on home or away, especially
this year with no fans.
Yeah, but I think Tannehill, because every game the Titans have a different person they go to. One game was Bursker, a couple games Brown, a couple games Davis.
That's true.
I think John Smith finally goes off this game, and I think him and Henry will be the backs on which the Titans soar.
I need it to be AJ Brown because he's on my fantasy team.
Dude, why do you still have AJ Brown?
What do you mean he's good? Anyways, should I go on to my second game?
Oh yeah, we're doing a second game. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Browns Jaguars, and here's why. Because a lot of people are thinking this is going to be a blowout, right? And it probably will be. It could be very much
a trap game for the Browns.
A very big trap game because the Jaguars hang around with some good teams like they did the Packers. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't believe in Jake Luton. I think he's god awful. But I believe in the Jaguars as a team, if that makes sense. I think the Jaguars are a really good quarterback away from being relevant. I truly believe in that too. So here's how I feel. I think it's also interesting because it's like the first game that the Browns have played in good weather in like 3 weeks. So I want to see if
true.
the Browns,
they're getting a team at their full playbook.
Sitting at 7-3, they're considered a good team, like a really good team. They're in the playoffs picture now. Like they're in the playoffs as of now with the losses that happened last week.
Yep.
And I want to see if they can be that good team and beat the teams that need to be beaten and beaten by a lot. So that's what I'm looking for. And if they can actually compete, if they come out and they destroy Jacksonville, I will be a believer in them coming in and making a statement and giving someone a hard game in the playoffs. But I think they're being carried by their defense and their run game. But that's all you need, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's a big game that I'm looking forward to, and I'm looking in on if Baker can handle it and if Jacksonville is truly as close as I think they are. But that's all I have to say about that game.
Scott, go ahead.
My second game, I'm gonna go with the Raiders-Falcons game.
Okay.
Because the Falcons in the past 5 weeks have picked up, and they've won some games. They're now 3-7. The Raiders are 6-4, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Raiders are gonna make the playoffs and stuff." But last year at this point in the season, the Raiders were 6-4, and they finished with 7 wins. So I'm still not completely sold on the Raiders because they had the same exact start to this season as they did last season.
I'm sold on the Raiders. But go on.
Okay.
We can talk about that.
And also, again, the Falcons are a team that you don't know what you're going to get every week.
Yeah.
You could get the team that came out and destroyed a couple weeks ago, or you get the team that gave up that lead a couple weeks ago as well, with Gurley falling into the end zone instead of falling at the 1-yard line. So I think it'll be a competitive game. This is one of those games where you have two decent teams, and if the Falcons don't blow those two other leads, they're 5-6 and right there at the same kind of middle ground of the NFL that the Raiders are right now. Did we lose Kevin?
Kevin?
Yeah, 1 second.
You there?
Hello?
There he is.
Yeah, below 20%.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah.
We're good. We only have Kevin's. You're and I believe in this game. I'm a big fan of the Raiders right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like what they have going on. They have a weird swagger to them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like they're doing the thing where they're like, yeah, just keep on forgetting about us. We'll keep winning. Yeah. You just keep forgetting about us, and we'll sneak up on you.
I just love how the only team that really gives the Chiefs a problem every single time is the Raiders.
And the Raiders almost won after their defense not practicing for a week.
That was the backups. Like they were giving them troubles, and I loved watching.
If the Raiders can practice together as a unit, and they could set up a scheme against them and work on it, the Raiders win that game. Yeah.
And I love seeing that. And those were the backups, and you saw how excited they were and how ready to play they were. You can tell that Gruden's got a hold of that team in that locker room. They're on their way for some good things.
Yeah, no doubt about it. If Jacobs can establish a good run scheme, then Carr can open up, get the ball to his receivers. It's GG.
Yeah. Go for you, Kev.
All right, my game of the week, or my B tier game of the week. Dolphins-Jets. And here's why. It's not necessarily for results. No. Okay, it's not for results. It's because Tua jammed his thumb last game. So I'm interested to see whether they play Fitz or Tua. And if they play Tua, how he will respond. Because I think if Tua doesn't respond well, then go on. What?
How he'll respond after his first NFL loss?
Yes, and how he'll respond being benched.
Yeah, see, I was saying, I hate the benching. And the reason why, I get you want to try to win the game. Yeah, it's Fitzpatrick. Yeah, Fitzmagic, whatever. It's Tua. He's literally, you drafted him for the future of your franchise. Yeah, he won the first couple games. He kind of got carried by his defense. He did what he needed to do to get the wins, the bare minimum. in that situation down by 10 against the Broncos, you keep him in. He's playing good.
Yeah.
Like, he's for the season. Like, he needs to go through the ups and downs of a rookie season to be able to, like, learn. Like, he's going to lose. Like, it happens. So, and now bringing in Fitz after kind of making mistakes against the Broncos, he's going to be looking over his shoulder nonstop if he makes that play.
Yep.
So now he's going to be kind of hesitant. I hope there's a good communication between the coach and the player, but I just didn't like the move at all.
Yeah, because you don't want a young guy who in the third quarter and it's a close game, he throws an incomplete pass on third down and looking back and seeing Fitzpatrick throwing on the sideline,
warming up. That does so much to your mental.
Instead of just coming and throwing that pass and that incomplete pass and then coming off and going, okay, let's go for the next drive.
Yeah,
his mind's going to be elsewhere.
Yeah, I agree, and it's just not. I didn't like it. I think Brian Flores has been fantastic, but that was the one move I didn't really like.
Depending on how the rest of the season goes, Flores is
coach of the year.
Yeah, he is coach of the year because
either him or I can't think.
Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin, yeah.
Well, yeah, Tomlin.
I hate Tomlin.
But also with the Ravens. Also with the Dolphins, Gaskin is also questionable, and Ahmad is out. So he might not have as good a run game as he's used to having. If Tua is in, obviously.
What did you say, Kev? What's the running back's name?
Salvin Ahmed.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else. Okay.
And Gaskin, obviously. But
yeah,
that's what I've got. The Jets are going to lose, obviously. Who cares about them? No offense to any Jets fans.
Do the Jets win a game this year?
No.
No,
not at all.
Let's see the rest of their schedule.
All right, let's do it.
The rest of their schedule is they play the Dolphins this week.
Loss.
Then the Raiders.
Loss.
Then the Seahawks.
Loss.
Then the Rams.
Loss.
Then the Browns.
Loss.
And then the Patriots.
Oh my God, I would be so happy if the Jets came in and beat the Browns to get them out of the playoffs.
That would be hilarious. And they finish 1-16.
And they kept the Browns out of the playoffs.
Or 1-15.
1-15. Yeah.
That would be so funny.
With having to have Joe Flacco in there and having a no-name wide receiver core, and their best player on defense is freaking, Avery Williamson.
No, he got traded.
Quinn Williams, who hasn't been.
Williams. Yeah, Avery's on the Steelers now.
But yeah, there's no hope for the Jets. They get it's tank for Trevor or Fields.
I just don't know. I just don't know how they feel. I don't know. I would be so mad. Like, I would feel so bad for Trevor.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Every person who goes number one is going to go to a less than stellar program.
I think what Lawrence does, he'll do the same thing that Peyton Manning did.
I'm okay with Lawrence going to the Jets if Adam Gase is fired. I just want to say that.
Peyton Manning, his junior year, was going to be the number one pick. And the Jets had the number one pick. And he decided to stay another year.
So he could get his chance to go
somewhere
else because he did not want to go to New York. He did not want to go to the Jets.
No. I mean, Manning kind of did the same thing, or Eli Manning kind of did the same thing too.
With Philip,
he got drafted and then threw a fit.
Yeah,
but
still, he got to his team.
He got to where he wanted to go to New York.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is. I don't think he should be as worried about that as a guy like Manning, a guy like Peyton or Eli Manning, who has a father that's been in the NFL and they're all up in their own shit. I think Trevor can work with what he's got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you want to do our players of the week and close it out?
Yeah.
Our projections of players of the week, who we think is going to be great. Do you want to go first, Scott?
Yeah, sure.
I can go if you want me to.
Yeah, you go first.
All right. Back on topic. I think the player of the week for me, who's going to really just break out and show us what he's made of, is Tua.
Okay.
Tua's going to start. It's been announced. And I think he's going to come out and he's going to establish. I know it's the Jets, but
yeah, it's the Jets. So,
like I said, I think but what he's done so far has been like the bare minimum to get them wins. Like he's been serviceable. Mm-hmm. And I think he hasn't really shown who he truly is. And I think this week, after being benched, I think he's kind of built the way of I'm going to come in and I'm not going to ever give him the option to ever want to bench me ever again. So this is his time of proving who he actually is. And I think he comes out and throws for about 300 yards and rushes for about 20 and gets a touchdown, rushing touchdown, and probably 3 passing. I think he goes off.
Kev, you want to go next?
No.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
I will stay on the quarterback train, and my breakout player will be Taysom Hill.
Oh, I hate you.
Wow.
Against the Broncos.
I hate that.
The Broncos passing defense has not been very good this year, besides last game versus the Dolphins, because it was a rookie quarterback figuring stuff out. But so the passing option will be tremendous for him. But then also the Broncos defense is one of the worst in rushing defense.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a read option type of quarterback. So they're going to be running read option. He's the starter now, so it can't really be wildcat, but like they'll be running read option, reverses, play actions, stuff like that. Pitch options on the outside for him to get in open field, which will spread out the Broncos defense, which will create more passing lanes for him.
Yeah. I like whatever.
I'm gonna go the obvious route. I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers. I think.
You think he's gonna have the best week out of all the quarterbacks?
Yeah, it's kind of a bounce back game just because of the loss, but it's not really on him. I think he can tear up the Bears easily. The Bears do have a mid to upper tier defense, but
it's
Aaron Rodgers. He's got swag. He's got swag at the ceiling.
That's fair.
And like the bad season, medium season, Aaron Rodgers still puts up the same numbers he does every year.
Yes. That's all I got to say on that, honestly.
All right.
Yeah,
I like it.
We got anything else for y'all?
No, I think we're good. You want to close it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching this episode of the Dropout Sports Podcast. I'm just going to send a quick shout out to Sarah Fuller, that kicker from Vanderbilt.
Yes. Vanderbilt getting Sarah Fuller, the soccer player, to be their place kicker for Saturday's game.
Yes, sir.
That's so cool. That's
a lot of people will be watching that.
Oh, yes. Vanderbilt will get good ratings for once.
Yeah.
That is not for baseball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, I mean, shout out to her.
Yeah.
Shout out to women in football. We all about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That change is coming.
Yeah. Y'all two had anything else you want to shout out?
Rodrigo Blankenship.
Yes.
The man's an animal. Best kicker in the league.
Blankenship.
That's all I gotta say.
Kicker.
Carrying my fantasy team.
Jeez, dude. Scott, you got anything?
I have a shout out. Just like, hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everyone's staying safe with everything that's going on. Just, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it for us, guys. Make sure to check out last week's, this week's, next week's, anything we put out there. It's all for you guys. And we'll see you later.